Hello, everyone. My name is Aislinn Turner, and I'm here with my colleague Bruce Fitzgerald. We are with the FirstNet Authority, and it's an honor to be here at IAEM giving a tech talk today. We're going to let you know all about the ins and outs of FirstNet, including the latest developments and the tools and capabilities that are available today for you. For those who are not as familiar with FirstNet, we wanted to just give you a quick snapshot of our partnership. We have started a 25-year partnership with AT&T. They are the ones building and deploying our network. And we, as the government agency, we provide oversight to AT&T, and we engage with public safety continuously and give that feedback and information to AT&T to continuously improve the network and make it what public safety wants it to be. Next slide. These are some of the fundamental benefits of FirstNet for public safety. It provides priority and preemption, high security, controlled access by public safety, coverage, very robust coverage that's being continuously enhanced, and enhanced user experience. These are the two ways that we have chosen to invest our dollars in 2020 by using the feedback that we've received from public safety. So we've heard from you all that you want greater access to deployables, so we are expanding our deployable fleet. These provide temporary on-demand coverage for emergency managers and other first responders, either at pre-planned events or at disaster incidents. So it could range from a disaster that has just happened to a pre-planned event such as a large festival. We're supporting all kinds of events, and we're expanding our deployable fleet to meet the needs of public safety. Secondly, we're enhancing 5G capabilities. So 5G is the future. We've heard continuously from the public that there's a high demand for 5G as soon as we can get it, and we are working hard to make that happen. Next slide. I like this slide because it shows our progress over time, and it gives you a snapshot using numbers of where we're at today. So FirstNet has over 1.7 million connections. That's insane. I'm really happy to see that progress. Over 14,000 public safety agencies have subscribed to FirstNet. We've deployed our deployables 450 times in 2019 alone. That's in 1 year. That's phenomenal to see that. I'm not going to go through all these numbers, but you can see just the immense progress that we've made in just the short years that we've been in existence. Next slide. I like this slide because it shows how FirstNet has supported public safety during COVID. So many of you know that FirstNet's for first responders, but it's also for medical facilities, and healthcare workers all across the country are using FirstNet. And we've deployed more than 50 times during this pandemic to support public safety and COVID-related emergencies. And we've seen first responders use more than 2 times the amount of data that they do normally pre-pandemic. We've been able to meet these needs, these growing needs during the pandemic, and support public safety as much as they've needed it. We've excelled at it and just done a phenomenal job during this pandemic. And I've been really excited to see all the positive feedback that we've been receiving from public safety this year. And with that, I'd like to hand things off to Bruce.
Thanks, Aislinn. We'll talk a little bit more about kind of overarching FirstNet benefits, and then we'll actually dig into some of the tools that you get to use as part of the network. Building off that deployable slide that we just showed you for COVID, here's a look at one of the satellite-enabled trucks. So we can roll these things out on a no-notice event or for a pre-planned event. There's no cost to FirstNet subscribers to request and use one of these assets, and they can be out there for as long as they're needed. There are 72 trucks in the fleet, plus the flying assets that you see here. And then we're also in the process of building more, as Aislinn had mentioned earlier, with the reinvestments that we're making into our program. All of these assets can provide temporary service over an area so that public safety can use their devices, either if the land-based network is down or if there is supplemental coverage that's needed. And on the FirstNet Authority side, we actually provide some planning services, again at no cost, all at the request of the users, We can do a pre-planning meeting where we'll actually come in. We'll meet with the planners of the event, so all the public safety agencies that are involved. We bring in the AT&T deployment team, and we talk about where the people will be that are part of the event, what kind of technology is being used. And so we're looking to pinpoint where the most effective locations are to deploy these assets. And then we do after action reviews after the event to look at what went right, what went wrong, how we can improve the entire process. And we found those to be really effective to continue to improve the deployment process over the past couple of years. With all of the deployments that have been happening, both for COVID, for the election cycle, for some of the civil unrest this summer, these trucks have been very, very busy, and we've learned a lot about how to deploy them. We also have an exercise program, so we've got a catalog of over 800 exercise injects, so emergency managers and exercise planners can build those into their events very, very easily, and we can provide all of that for you anytime you need. FirstNet has an application catalog as part of the project, and there's over 100 apps now in this catalog, and what you need to know here is that all of the applications get certified and tested for both cybersecurity, for scalability, so you can be confident that when you see something in the FirstNet application catalog that it's been put through its paces, it's ready for public safety to use, and it's something that you can build into your daily operations. And now we'll talk about FirstNet Central. This is an online and a mobile portal that FirstNet users have at their disposal. And Aislinn's going to talk about some of the features that you get to use there.
Thanks, Bruce. I personally love FirstNet Central because it's more than just an online hub where you can pay your bills. It's got so many tools and features within it, including the network status map, which I'm going to go into detail about in just a moment, the uplift request tool, which Bruce is going to talk about. And it's got lots of training resources that are extremely beneficial for public safety, all about how to use FirstNet and everything you need to know about FirstNet. As Bruce mentioned, it's also with the FirstNet, it works in tandem with the FirstNet Assist app. So it's mobile friendly, which is phenomenal as well. So let's talk about the network status map. It's a tool, as I mentioned, within FirstNet Central that gives you inside access into real-time information about the network, such as outage information, planned maintenance, weather alerts, and more. Next slide. You can receive network alerts on your devices via email, text message, or push notification via the FirstNet Assist app. It's even got a COVID-19 dashboard, so you can essentially pick and choose the types of alerts you want to receive and how you want to receive them. And this gives emergency managers great situational awareness and inside real-time information about the network and how it's operating. Next slide. This shows the three different types of alerts you can get. The emails, of course, give you the most level of detail. The text, you can click on that link and it'll take you to FirstNet Central where you can see the map and get more information about the alert. And then, of course, the FirstNet Assist app, you can click on that push notification and get all the details that way. So there are different layers that you can turn on and off, 11 layers to be exact. And these range from all different types of weather alerts to traffic, COVID-related information, and individual cell site information, outages, things like that. In the bottom right, you'll see a link to planned maintenance. So if there is any upcoming maintenance in your area that's going to affect the tower, the coverage temporarily, then you'll get to know about that right away. And I love this for emergency managers in particular because it gives you access that you've never had before. I mean, before this kind of information was not in the hands of public safety. And so it gives great situational awareness and it gives public safety something they've been asking for a long time. Next slide. There are different levels of permission for the network status map. So this advanced network view is the highest level permission that's mainly reserved for account administrators and communications leaders. Although you can grant permissions within your agency to whoever you want, however you want to do it. But this gives individual cell site information, which is really phenomenal. You can zoom down to a specific tower and see any alerts or outages associated with that tower. If you go to the next slide, by clicking on one of those white squares, you can zoom into a specific market area. So here's Atlanta. I actually live in Atlanta, fun fact. And you can see the individual cell sites here on the map and any outages or information you need to know about that market area specifically. And with that, I'm going to turn things over to Bruce to talk about Uplift.
Okay, thanks. So here's another tool that's available right through the FirstNet Central portal. So we try to build as much as we can into a single interface for you. The Uplift tool allows you to bring non-public safety users who are on FirstNet to a level playing field during an emergency or during a pre-planned event where you have a lot of people in one place that you may need some extra priority. So if we think about FirstNet users as primary, you may have heard about primary users. Those are police, fire, EMS, emergency managers, and 911 dispatchers. They have priority and preemption all the time. But many of their partner agencies who are not day-to-day first responders, such as utility workers, some healthcare workers, school officials, transportation officials, they're all able to be FirstNet users, but they don't necessarily have priority full-time like a public safety user does. And so here with Uplift, we're able to give them temporary priority so that they are able to get their work done, to collaborate and respond with public safety during an incident. And so it's very, very easy to do. You create an Uplift request within this portal, and again, you can do it for planned events. You can do it for emergencies such as a hurricane or a winter storm that takes down large portions of a network, and you might need to bring in workers from outside of the area through mutual aid. So here come all of these utility workers, and we want to make sure that they have the highest levels of priority to be able to collaborate with the public safety officials that are in that region. Create the request. You can uplift people in advance. You can uplift people for up to 48 hours. And then you can go in and renew that uplift for up to 30 days in a row. So the tools are there, very simple to use once you get the hang of it. And it's an ability to bring all of public safety's partners into a similar communications tool. They all have the same capabilities, and they're able to deal with the event. You can also get into Uplift through our FirstNet Assist app. So we mentioned this just a few minutes ago. It's available both on iOS and Android. So for most of your devices that we're using today, all can use the FirstNet Assist app. You can look for uplifts that are in your area. So when you open up the app, it'll show you that you're eligible to be uplifted, but you've got nothing going on right now. Or if you enter an area where there is an uplift incident happening, the app will tell you that there's an incident within 0 to 50 miles or up to 99 miles if needed, and then you can request to be uplifted into that incident. So you'll provide some basic information about who you are, why you are requesting to be uplifted, and then there's an uplift manager that's assigned to each one of these incidents. Typically it's a COML or it's an emergency management or a communication center person who is looking at all of these and will grant your uplift request. And then you'll see a counter here that will actually count down the amount of time you have left on your uplift. But again, we're able to give this priority service to non-traditional public safety users so that they can collaborate for as long as they need with public safety to respond to an event. That's it for us today. That was a lot, and we understand that there's way more that we could have dug into here. You may have a lot of questions. Please, please, please feel free to contact us. Both Aislinn and my email and phone numbers are here. We're looking forward to hearing from you all in the Q&A today. But we appreciate you joining us, and there's a lot to learn about FirstNet, and thank you for being here with us today.
Thanks, everyone.